All right, guys, Dad and I out here working on the Ford. I got a 2017 Ford F150. Now this the one with the this got a 5.5 foot bed on it. Not only has it got a 5.5 foot bed on it, it's got that tonneau cover on it, and that cover, as y'all can see it right here. It goes all the way to the end of the bed. So you gotta have a special bracket to sit in there and go beyond the rail here. And so this is kind of like the knockoff. This is the knockoff of the Billy Bars. This one right here runs you about $250, and the Billy Bars runs about $650. So I went with the cheap option. Now, not to knock off the Billy Bars, because they look overly built, and so that's a good thing. These right here, as you can see, they pretty solid too.
Yeah, they solid steel.
Yeah, they pretty solid.
Solid steel.
So I'm gonna put these on the back now, and I did it so I can run my luggage rack and also a tent. So that's a different video, but either way it go, I'm gonna start working on this. It look like I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna take this rack off for the tonneau cover and install these right here. Yeah. And it should sit right back down on there enough where I can put my rack my tonneau cover right back on. So I'm gonna play with it right quick and see how it work out. I'll bring y'all back in just a minute. All right, so Dad and I took off that one side of the rail here, and as you can see, there's a gap. There's a gap underneath that thing.
About a 1/4 inch gap.
About a quarter?
Yeah, it's 1/4 inch gap.
So what I'm gonna have to do is get some weather stripping and go all the way underneath that and put the thing back down is what's got to happen. And I got to do it all the way around. Now the rails came off very easy by the time I took these little clamps off, but to get this thing right, and that means I got to put the weather stripping up front too, all the way up, excuse me, all the way up front there. Yep. To make it hold.
Yep, that's right.
All right, let me keep on working here. I got to keep working. So working on this Ford, trying to put this this crossbars on it, and these are the screws that they come with from the company, which are good. But the wall, I'm gonna try to show y'all. I might be able to even see it. The wall for that screw to go through, it really ain't all that big, guys. It just really ain't all that thick through there. Y'all can see that coming through. I'm screwing a little bit. See if y'all can see the light. You see the wall right here? That ain't hardly nothing. Not for just that screw. And that screw don't come with no no nuts on the back. So they're gonna run up to the hardware store and pick up some bolts for me with some nuts on the back. So this thing will have something to kind of lock down to. Cause right now that ain't enough. That ain't gonna do it. Not for what we want to use it for. We got to have something that's going to lock down a little bit tighter than that. So Dad's running up there now. When he get back, we'll keep on doing the install. Right now, I got each bracket. Each bracket is 18 inches from the 18 inches from the front to the bracket, and then in the back here is 18 inches from the back to the bracket. And I try to get where most of my weight is sitting center of the back of the truck here. So I'm pretty happy with that part of it. I'll bring y'all back in a little bit as soon as the bigger man get back. So while Dad's going to pick up those nuts and bolts, I'm putting some weather stripping on because there's a little bit of a gap, and you want to make sure you really make sure you can kill this gap in here. It'll go down even a little bit farther than that once the clamps get on there, but you really want to try to block all of that gap out of there And you can see the gap there, and over here you don't see the gap. So that weather stripping, it look like it's gonna work out pretty good. I'm gonna show you the weather stripping that I got. It's the one that I got right here. Let's keep going. All right, guys, y'all see the screws Dad got, the one over here to the left. That's the one that came with the set. Now, ain't nothing wrong with these, but with this thin siding on this forward here, you gotta have something with a nut on it. And this is a metal screw, and if it was going in all metal, it'd be just fine. But Bigger Man went up to
Ace Hardware.
Ace Hardware and got these with some washers and some nuts on it, and they grab a whole lot better. So we got this one side on right here, and so we're going to work on this other side.
And they're nice and tight.
Yeah, they feel good. They feel tight. They feel good. So, and they'll be even tighter once you get the bar across it too. Yep. So, all right, let's keep on going.
All right.
Let me grab me a. Yeah, big man.
Catfish holding that nut on the backside and screwing that screw right into that nut and then tighten it right up.
Yep.
Oh yeah. That got it?
Got it.
All right, I'm gonna cut it off.
All right, guys, so we got everything put back on there. We got the tonneau cover on there, rolling that joker back. As you can see, it just fits underneath, and it'll go all the way under the back one too. Yep. Look at that. Damn, all the way. Okay, all right. So now it's time for us to put the crossbars up there. We had to do a little bit of adjustment on the on this rail here, but that wasn't too bad. That's just loosening it up, pulling it over a little bit, loosening it up, yep, tightening it back and forth. And so I think we're good to go on that. Now we're gonna put the crossbars on there and see how they look up there. So started the one in the back,
yep,
and sit right on top. So I gotta get the little screws and run in the channel. And running that channel in there. And you got these right here. I think it's 2 for each side. 2 of these for each side. I'm gonna come over here with Bigger Man. Bigger Man, flip that one over. Flip it over. Flip the whole thing over. Yeah. And these screws, you see that rail in there? These screws.
yep, right that
Slide
rail.
right in there. And that is where you pick up your extra adjustment at. Now, there's one more little piece in there. They put a little grommet, a little rubber grommet in there that fits in there, and that keeps the rub down. So they look like this, just a little rubber grommet here. And that joker just sits right on there. Pick it up, sits right on there like that. And then the screws. The screws fit in there. Okay. So let me get to my other side, and I'll be back with y'all in just a minute. So we're Dad and I are figuring out, if you use that little rubber grommet piece here and stick it on the screws and then slide the screws inside the hole here, it keeps them spaced and keeps the screws from being so loose on you, so you can stick it in on these little holes fairly easy. And they give you these little lock nuts or whatever it is. To put on there, and bless you, Bigger Man. Woo. All right, guys. Dad and I got them crossbars up there. Bigger Man, how long did it take?
Probably ain't take about what, a good maybe an hour.
Yeah, hour and a half at the
Yeah,
most.
about an hour and a half to the most.
And Dad, he went ahead to go up there and get some extra hardware for the truck because the hardware that came with it, it was good hardware, but it didn't work right for this truck. But the tunnel, the little cover here, it go right through there with no problem. It go right through there with no problem. I think this is the I think I got the either 6 or 8 inch clearance for this, and mine is on the top of the rail cover. So if you had a cover that was even lower than this or in the bed, it would flip up even easier. But it goes right over. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. Took Dad now about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And that's, guys, is on there. It's doing pretty good.
It worked perfect.
So the next test that we do on it, we'll put some weight on it. And it's supposed to cover 600 pounds. Obviously, ain't gonna be no 600 pounds up there, especially 600 pounds driving, but it might be 600 pounds sitting on top. And so eventually it's gonna be a 10 up there. And I'll let y'all see what's going on once that comes. But
and guys, Catfish managed to put that thing together with no problem. We didn't even really have to look at the instructions.
That's right.
And we just looked at the few pictures that was on the instructions, and that was it. And we went on with it.
Yep.
All right.
So we'll bring y'all back and show y'all. But this is just the first of the modifications to the old F-150 here. And hopefully we can start doing some camping and stuff out of this thing. Should be a good time, guys.
All right.
Yep.